Hi everyone, well welcome to the big startup video of my new electrical system. Thank you very much everyone for tuning in to the build video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for all your questions. Absolutely amazing, and hopefully I've answered them all correctly in the comments. If not, I'll answer them all in a future video. But today's video is about kicking in and starting up the battery system, making sure it all works properly. Like I said on my last video, I'm going to do a bit of testing first because I've got to start up the new Victron Bluetooth shunt, and I've never done that before. I've got the quick start guide here, and I've also been on YouTube, and Will Powers that I spoke about, who's actually a ambassador for Li-Time as well, actually had a video up on how to set up a Victron Bluetooth shunt, which I thought I would share my experiences with setting one up to see how hard, easy, or whether I bugger it up altogether. But before I do that, I am going to get my multimeter, and I'm actually going to show you how to just test your connections to make sure that you have a good connection throughout your wiring system before you turn it on, and also with the Bluetooth shunt. I'll stop gas bagging. I've actually got my Li-Time gloves on that they sent out to me because I had to lift the battery up and connect up the positive wire. These are actually say on they're rated for 400 volts to stop electric shock. So thanks Li-Time for sending those out. Good safety tip, isn't it? I never actually thought about wearing gloves when I was fiddling around with voltage and stuff like that, but thank you very much. I'll put them back on again when I hook up the negative wire. But like I said, what I'm going to do is actually go through and quickly show you how to test the connection on your wire. So say you connect this wire on one point and have it running through a few different fuses and things like that and going to its final destination, how to check that you have a connection from this end to that end. And there's a way you can do it with a multimeter. I've got this one here which I got from super cheap. It wasn't very dear, I think it was about $49. And the way you do it, let me get around behind the camera here, and we might turn this around into the light so you can see it, is turn on your multimeter. I've got it set on voltage because I was testing for voltage, but down here is your little arrow, and you've got all these different things. You've got, you know, volts and cycles and all sorts of stuff, but up here you've got the little ohm signal. What you want to do is turn it up to 200 ohms and it'll come up with a 1 up there. You'll have your black and your red. You have your black in your common, your red in the ohms and all the other thing. And what we're going to do is now go up into the back of the Ranger, and we'll test some of the wires out just to make sure we've got a good connection. Let's get in there. I'm set up in the back of the car. I'll tell you what, I'm getting too old for sitting down like this. I'm sitting down on my butt with my legs crossed. Not the most comfortable position. I got this piece of wood because I'll tell you what, the deck on this trucker's a bit rough. I've got a mat ordered for it too. Hopefully it shows up this week. I've been waiting like 15 days for it, so let's hope it shows up this week. But let's get into it. So what I want to show you is, do we have a good connection, say between this negative wire, which I haven't hooked up yet. We will do that in a minute. And it runs all the way along to the shunt and then runs all the way over to here. So to make sure all those connections are functioning as they should, how do we test that? I'm going to show you how. So this orange wire here is the negative, the red wire is the positive, the orange one's running through here, over to this side of the shunt, then onto this side and through here to the end, which will ultimately be on the battery. Positive is on this side of the battery already, through that fuse. Now this is switched off at the moment, and all the power is running through to here and over to here. So what we'll do is, I'll set the camera down here. Okay, I've got my multimeter set up on the ground there. It's still set at 200 ohms, It's showing 1, I've got my positive, I've got my negative. Now what you've got to do is put your negative on one end of the wire, your positive on the other end, doesn't matter which end, doesn't really make a difference. And that figure there should, on this side here, go up to say no more than 3 or 4 and show you that there is a current running through that wire. So what I'm doing now is I'll touch one end on here, I'll touch the other end over there, but I can't do that and show you the screen, so I'm going to put it back on the screen. I'm going over, I'm touching the negative wire now, and there you go, it'll drop down 4, 3, so 0.2, 0.3. So there is a good connection through that entire wire system there. So that's how you check it. I'll just show you the positive one because I've actually got this switched off. So there should be no power leakage going through that switch. Now this is another good reason to do this. I'll just tilt this camera up a fraction. So I'm going to touch the end of the positive terminal and I'm going to go to the positive wire over there. And I am touching them now and you can see there's no movement in that display. What I'll do now is I'll switch this to on. That should open that circuit up now. There is no 12 volt power going through because I haven't connected the negative yet, and we'll touch the positive wire, and as you can see, once it settles down, 0.3, 0.2. So that connection there is functioning how it should. The switch is not leaking any power through when it's off, and it's showing a current when it's on. So there you go there, it's as simple as that. Just something I thought I'd share with you. A little tip on how to check connections when setting up electrical systems. So there you go, set it to 200 ohms and just put each end of your probe on the end of the wire. So there we go there. It's now time to fire this system up, and on cue there's a bit of rain happening, so who knows whether I'll have to take the car back into the shed. But I'll get the negative terminal hooked up, and then we'll get this Victron Bluetooth shunt down here connected up and see if it works, eh? Cheers everyone. Okay, as simple as that, it's hooked up. Let's switch the switch on and see whether we see any fuses blow or sparks come out of anything. Okay, no sparks come out of anything, that's a good sign. The Victron Bluetooth shunt is flashing, so I might see if I can do some screen recording here. There we go. And we will go to the Victron app, which I've already downloaded. And we'll see if we can get this to come up. So there we go there. It's showing us shunt. Let's click on that. It's connecting. It's 80%. Pair. It's just doing an update, so we'll update it. Shouldn't take too long. But yeah, how exciting is this? Hopefully you can see that on the screen there okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I've got a few more things to do, and yeah, connect up USBs. My solar controller has kicked in, so saying it's blue, it's on lithium, so that's working okay as it should. All we're doing is waiting for the Victron shunt here to finish doing its update. I'm not going to switch the inverter on yet till we get the battery sorted out. I don't want to take any power out of the battery till I get it calibrated right, because like I said, charged it up with the Li-Time 20 amp charger overnight, and really looking forward to testing this battery out too. 230 amp hours, my last one was 200, and it is updated, so we're going to press continue and it should come back up. There we go, we'll click on that, connecting again, 100%, stats, all that sort of thing. It's just telling me that I'm connected to, not now, I don't want to change the pins or anything. We'll get up on here, set battery capacity. We'll make it 230, because that's what it is. 230 amp hours, okay. Auxiliary input, what's that? Starter battery, midpoint, none. Yeah, okay, none. Update is available. We'll just see what the battery says. Charge voltage, we might change that because the Li-Time says that theirs is 14.4. And we'll set that. Discharge floor, 50, so tail current 4%. I'll have to see Phil about all those. Synchronize to 100%. Okay, there we go, we're all done. So pretty simple setup. You can set alarms, low state of charge, low voltage alarm, and high voltage alarm. So we'll set the value. When the state of charge falls below the set value for more than 10 seconds, the alarm is turned on until state of, okay, let's go. I'm going to leave all those because I'll read up a bit more about those, but I will set those. We'll update again. Just so we make sure it's all done. It's pretty quick though. Yeah, pretty happy that's all come on. I'm going to hopefully do some tests on the battery.
What's the difference between Steve Fuller? G'day. What's the difference between...
Hi everyone, well welcome back. Sorry about that interruption. That was old Mr. Buckaroony from North Queensland, and he actually rang me up to ask me about some 12 volt stuff that he was doing in his shed. As you know, I think he's put a video up by now, and he's got a couple of Li-Time batteries himself. Got one provided by Li-Time, and he also had one that he bought off them as well. So he's building a system in his shed to help him out when they have power outages from cyclones and just general power outages. So just asking me a couple of questions, but let's get back into where I was up to. So believe it or not, it is actually about 12 days later, because what happened was, I think I was in the back of the truck there when we were last talking. I was sitting down up in the back of the tub there, holding my phone, and it rung. I was just showing you the start up of the Bluetooth shunt. Everything went fine. It all started up as it should have. And like I said, it's about 12 days later, because I think I mentioned that it may have rained, and it did. So went inside, gave up. It was too dark for filming, and we went camping in between then. And I've got most of the stuff finished in the build now as well. I've got all my 12 volt stuff in, I've got my fridge in. We have been using it, and it has been going absolutely amazingly. It has been absolutely fantastic. The Li-Time 230 amp hour lithium battery has been performing just how I expected, and with the help of the Bluetooth shunt, I've been able to monitor the usage of the battery. It's been fantastic to be able to just go into an app on your phone and see what's happening. I will show you in the back of the vehicle here soon, and I'll try and answer a few questions that I've had, because luckily enough, since I've put out the first video on the build and said to you guys, stay tuned for this one, I've had a few questions, and I'm going to try and answer a few of those in today's video, because there's been some good questions asked about wiring diagrams, what I intend to do about protecting the front of the electrical build, all that sort of thing, but I'll address that in a minute. So getting back to where we left off, fired up the Bluetooth shunt on the Wednesday, I think it was, and got it all powered up. The battery was at 100%, and I got all the rest of the 12 volt stuff done, tidied up all the wiring. I've still got a few things to do, but I put in my little console fridge that I had in the FJ, the brass monkey one, because I just wanted to put the fridge in there so that I could have a few cold drinks and that. I will have to probably look at the future of getting a different sort of a fridge. I think when I was talking to you earlier, I said I might put the fridge on the passenger side over here, and but my Ingle fridge is too high for the back of the truck. I think Rob Richmond had the same trouble when he had his. He ended up putting in a ARB fridge. Might look at something like that, might even look at Evercool, Aussie made one. Just don't know yet. I'll probably end up selling the Ingle fridge, and might even sell the brass monkey, but for the time being I'm just going to use the brass monkey. It's pretty economical. It chews anywhere from 3 to 3.5 amps when it's cycling, and depending on how warm it is. I think when I've got the canopy closed up during the day and the weather's a little bit warmer, it probably will cycle a lot more. I did notice that in the FJ as well, but now that winter's come in, it's reasonably cool. It's cool today. We've got the Kingaroy show on. You might hear a few engines revving up. They've got tractors over there doing tractor pulls, all that sort of thing. Hear one there now. Well, I can hear it anyway. So it chews about 3 amps. Now, like I said, the Wednesday, 2 weeks ago, turned that on. Battery was at 100%. We went away on the Friday of Easter. That was Easter week. And I think on the Friday it was down to about 95%. So in a couple of days it only lost 5%. And packed all the camping gear up. We went out camping for the weekend. We had an amazing time over the 4 days. It was absolutely amazing. We went to Cedar Park. I think I put a couple of posts up, and we made use of the battery system. It was great having it available in the back of the car. I haven't tried to plug it into the van yet. That'll come in a future video, but we were able to use stuff like charging up batteries, running my 12 volt air fryer, my 240 volt air fryer, because we cooked up a few meals on the Friday night. We cooked up some fish and chips, and I actually used the 240 volt air fryer. I have got the 12 volt one here. So 240 volt one's the same, so it runs off 240 volt. But we set up the 240 volt air fryer on Friday afternoon, and we cooked up some fish and chips. Now I did do 2 cook-ups. I probably should have, what I should have done was plug the 12 volt one in, the 240 volt one in, and used them both at the same time, but cooked up fish and chips. I'll put a photo of it up on the screen there. I don't think I took any video, but I think I took some photos. I'll put that up on the screen. And because I did 2 meals, I think they run for about 16 minutes or so in the 240, maybe 15 minutes in the 240 volt one. And so about 30 minutes run time. And it was using 63 amps. This one here, the 12 volt one, we used it the next day. I think I warmed up some pies on the Saturday. I think they actually took about 20 minutes in the 12 volt one, and it uses about 16.5 amps. And then on the Sunday as well, in the afternoon, I did use the 240 volt one again, and I cooked up some baked potatoes because we did a lamb roast on the spit over the fire. In hindsight, I probably should have put the potatoes in with the lamb roast on the spit in the basket, but I didn't think they'd fit because it was a great big piece of meat. I'll tell you what, these trucks are really going off. Can you hear that? It's blowing straight this way, always away. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. But yeah, I ended up cooking the baked potatoes and all that in the 240 volt air fryer. Took about 45 minutes. So what does that all mean? So from 95% on the Friday when we went out till I got home Monday afternoon, the battery was down to, I think it was 65% that I'd used. So I still had a fair bit of the battery percentage in because it is a 230 amp hour lithium battery. So from 100% to 65%, I've used 35%. And that's not much when you consider that I'd been charging batteries up, charging mobile phones, using air fryers that were using 64 amp hours and 16 amp hours. So I was really happy with the way it performed, and I didn't put any power into it because I haven't set up the DC to DC yet in the car, so I can't charge it up through the alternator, and I haven't set up the solar properly yet. When I say properly, I've only got the Jackery panel behind me there that's sitting up on the car at the moment because I actually sold my 200 watt kick-ass panel with Dixie when I sold that, and I haven't got around to getting another panel because I had the All Powers 400 watt solar panels that I took out with me. I'll put a photo of those up on the screen. And I just intended to plug those into my solar connection like I have with the Jackery at the moment to charge up the battery while we were away camping on the weekend. But what I didn't realise is the All Powers panels are 37 volts, and that is too high a voltage for the MPPT that's in the Renogy DC to DC. So it didn't work. I plugged them in and it came up with a fault light. I checked it on the app because I've got the Bluetooth app with the Renogy, and it said too high a voltage, safe mode. So unplugged that, couldn't use those panels. I only had the Jackery. It's only 100 watts, so it only puts in a maximum of 4 or 5 amps. And it was real cloudy weather over the weekend, so it was basically useless. So unfortunately, couldn't put any power in, but didn't worry me because we had enough. So that was how the weekend went. And as of today, it is down to 38%. So I have not put any power into this in 12 days and it's down to 38%, which is absolutely fantastic. It's used another 30% since we have been home, in another 8 or 9 days of just the fridge running and just general power usage, probably from just things that are running like the Bluetooth shunt and all that sort of thing. So I will be charging it up today. I'll probably link that video right at the very end of this video and just show you how I charge it up. But that is about it. What I'm going to do now is what you want to see. I'm going to show you how this has all turned out. I'll grab the camera and we'll run around the back of the car, and I'll try and answer a few questions as I'm going. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them down below, because the only way I can tell you if you ask me the question. Thank you everyone for liking and subscribing. It has been absolutely amazing. I think by the time this video comes out, I won't need many and I'll be at 4,000 subscribers. So it doesn't cost anything to hit the like and subscribe, and it really does help my channel and get that algorithm to show my video to everyone out there in Australia. So let's grab the camera and do the run around in the back of the truck, eh? Cheers. Okay, we'll start at the back here. First things first, since we've done the first part of the video, I've got a floor mat. I ordered this off Grunt, and thanks to the couriers for losing it for about 15 days, but it eventually turned up. This is going to be great. Heaps better to sit and kneel on than kneeling on this stuff here. So, and this is non-slip, so it doesn't matter what you put in the back here, it won't all slide to the front, which will help down there. I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, just a big shout out to Lead Time again. Thanks for providing me with this battery. Don't forget about that 8% discount code. I'll leave a link at the end, and you might be able to pick yourself up a great battery, 5-year warranty, low temperature cutoff. So that, I reckon, will definitely come into play for me during winter, because we get down to -7, and the last thing you want to do is have your battery die because of freezing temperatures. So that is one of the things that is in this battery, and this battery is IP65, dustproof and waterproof. That is the reason I didn't end up putting it in a box. I think I said at the start of the video I was going to put this in a box. I decided not to. So if you have got a caravan or something and you've got a storage box outside, this will be fine in one of those as well. So what have I done? Connected everything up. I've put little covers over the terminals, got my remote start in here for the Renogy, my earth wire hooked up. Going along, we've got our 240, got the 240 switch here, and all the 240 cut-off switches. I never can work out how this thing here works, but that does open it up. It's just a really tight door. How does it work? There we go. So I got my 240 volt switches for the power and mains there. 15 amp plug in to charge up the battery. I'll show you charging that up at the end. I'll reach over the side here, plug the 240 in. From here we've got our 250 amp fuse, and got the cutoff switch. I'll put a photo of a wiring diagram up. That was one of the questions someone asked me. I sat down last night, took about 3 hours to draw all this up, so whoever asked the question, make sure you have a look at it, because it took ages to, but it basically gives you a diagram on how this whole system here is wired up. So cutoff switch there, a Victron Bluetooth shunt there. So just in case you don't know, you only have one lead from your negative running to there. What have I got? I've got planes going over now. I have it all here at my house, guys. Monster trucks, planes, everything. But there's all the wiring up in the corner there. Now, A few people ask me too, is this going to be in the road? There's looking down at the side there, so the wheel well's here. This is all protected. I am going to put a barrier up here. I'm in the process of making that now, so I'll show you that in a future video. So we've got the Renogy 2000 watt inverter charger. This has got lots of different settings on it that you can change. I love this inverter. It is big and bulky and heavy, but it's a great inverter. Over here we've got, like I said, the Egon DC hub. Everything runs into that. If you are building a system and you want something that's easy to understand, have a look at the Egon DC hub. And over in the corner here is the Renogy DC to DC MPPT charger. It's only rated to 27 volts, as I have found out. I don't know whether you can see that there now. The red light is on, so the solar panels up here are connected up. They're my Jackery panels. And up behind there is a Bluetooth connectivity for that. Along here I've put my little fridge, and behind that I've got the kick-ass power box. It's got 3 cigarette lighter plug-ins, USBs, it's got 2 Anderson plug connections on it. It is absolutely fantastic. I think that's all I'll need. That's all I had in the FJ, but everything now is got coverings in the Egon DC hub. Someone mentioned about have you got all the wires zip tied? I hope you can see that. They're all zip tied. I've got plastic coverings over all the electrical connections, and one of the things I have discovered too, you probably won't see it up in the corner there, I'll just grab them. These things here, these cable mounts, they are absolutely fantastic. They've got a sticky back, and you can put cable ties through them, and all my wires are all hidden up underneath the frames there, so everything has turned out fantastically. I've got to do that thing up there. I've got to wire up the DC wire to DC wire. It plugs into the bottom of the Egon DC hub down there. Have a look at the wiring diagram again, you'll know what I'm talking about. I've just got to run all the wires through the tub here and down to the engine bay, and that should be about it for the 240 volt system. And so everything has turned out fantastically. I will finish off now. I've just got to charge up this battery, so I'll plug that in. The sun's getting a bit bright out here, so I might move the car back a bit. And like I said, if you've got any questions, queries or comments, please leave them down below. But tell me what you think. If you've noticed anything you think's not right or whatever, let me know. But I'm still going to have heaps of room in the back here. Have a look there, that's looking top down. All that stuff in the front there is hidden up underneath where the roller is off the shutter. So I've still got at least 1200 by 1200 of room here. Like, yes, I've put the fridge in here, but use it all, do that as well. But there's still heaps of room in here for firewood. When we went away over at Easter, I had a box up the front there. I had 3 boxes of drinks, a box of beer, 3 or 4 bags of firewood, 2 solar panels, and just so much other stuff in the back here, and it was absolutely fantastic. So I'll jump down and we'll finish off. There's my DC to DC cables there. I forget what size they are. It's the Renogy. I bought them down at Super Cheap. They are the 6AWG cable, so you want to try and get the heaviest ones you can to run through so you don't get any voltage drop. But yeah guys, I've got to order the Victron MPT I'll fit it up over there, and then I'll be able to run my other solar panels. But just thanks again to Lead Time. They sent out me the little 14.6 volt 20 amp charger, which I initially charged the battery up. But like I said, we'll finish off now, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay everyone, hope you enjoyed the little walk around my system. It's been really amazing building. I've absolutely loved it. It's been great to do it on my own this time. With the help from Phil, from Phil's Camping Reviews, I was able to have the confidence to disassemble and reassemble this system, make a few changes, which I have throughout the build. Like I had when I first done it in the earlier video, I had all my components along the front there, and I realised that was never going to work. All the 240 stuff was too far away to be usable, but now it is. So it's all within reach. I can just reach over the bed of the truck, turn on the inverter, plug in the 240. I've got all my 12 volt over the back, over this side here. So if I need to charge up a phone or charge up run the air fryer, the 12 volt air fryer, something like that, it's all within striking distance. I'll speak about all the other things in another video. I think I could rabbit on here for another 20 minutes and tell you all about some of the questions I've had, but I think I'll leave that for a separate video. I'll keep this one just basically showing you the startup, the electrical system. It is working great. I absolutely love it, and all I've got to do now is plug in my 240 and get this charged up. So I'll finish off with that. If you've got any questions, queries or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching, stay safe, look after each other, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's get this 240 plugged in, eh? Okay, before we finally finish off, that's how quick and easy it is to charge from shore power. 240 volt, got the cord plugged in, press the button, the inverter kicks in, and we're at 35%, and we're putting in 61, nearly 62 amps. So this battery will be charged up in no time at all. This battery can take up to 100 amps so at a time. But thanks very much guys. See ya. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.